allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't know. Okay. No, the guy came on still
Roll call. Shane Bailey, absent. Shayna Delaney, here. Darren Howell, absent. Don Miller,
Here.
Teresa Stratton,
here.
Randy Thorpe,
Here.
Jane Barco,
Here.
Mayor Chickarella,
Here.
Attorney Chris Farrow, Michelle Bugolski, absent. Heather Hess. Open call.
Thank you. The minute of the previous meeting on July the 9th, 2024, you received it in the mail today, council members. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as written? Hearing none, I ask for a motion.
I make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the minutes of the July 9th meeting. You've heard the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. The second meeting was held, a special meeting, was held on July the 24th. You also received that today, and I thank Heather for sending them in the mail. In the emails. Are there any additions or corrections to these minutes as written? Hearing none, I'm asking for a motion.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of July 24th meeting.
I'll second it.
A motion's been made and seconded to accept the minutes of July 24th, 2024. You've heard the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, abstentions. I abstain
Abstain.
because we were not present at the meeting. The bill list, please look it over. Michelle is on vacation this week. She called me from Wildwood Crest, good for her. And I've gone very carefully across the list here. I see nothing that's questionable, but are there any questions from the council on any of the bills?
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
A motion's been made and seconded to pay the bills as listed. You have heard the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, abstentions, motion carried. Chief, would you please give your report?
Okay, the monthly report for July, the police report, abandoned vehicles, we had 2, we assisted EMS once, assisted other police departments 3 times, welfare checks on homes 3, motor vehicle accidents there were 2, public assist motorists was 1, suspicious persons 2, traffic citations issued written 4, and investigations ongoing are 18, and total calls for the month were 59 for the month.
Were any of our police officers present when we had the flood?
1, yes.
Okay. Were there any other problems in the town with the flood that they noticed?
This PennDOT closed 296,
Okay.
but they actually didn't, I don't think, closed it very well, because people were still going around.
That's what I understand.
So, oh well, not on us.
Can I ask a question on that, on your statement here? Do we have a count on how many businesses or homes were affected on this?
No. All right, anything else, Chief, you'd like to report?
That's it right now.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The fire company report?
Excuse me, before the fire company reports, Madam Chairman, I'd like to say something.
Yes.
I'd like to give a round of applause to the fire company. They did a great job on the flood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Which the chief recalled everybody Friday on the thing to be at stations. We had 23 members at station, just waiting when the first call came out. In less than 3 minutes response to finish Saturday morning pumping houses and basements. So all went well. We had all 4 apparatuses out all day with it, so it helps to have the support and the membership to run 4 apparatuses in one call, be able to cover a town from end to end in one shot. So we thank everybody for your support. We had 23 calls for the month of July. I have a breakdown if you want them. If not, to sum it up, we did 23 calls the fire company was called out for the month of July. And our gun raffle tickets are available. And coming up September 11th, I believe, is the gun raffle.
September 7th.
And tickets are available at any member at the hall. And we always have, one of us should always have tickets on this. That's all I got for the fire company. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thanks again.
Yes, sir.
And now our mayor is going to give us a report, and he was out there that night too.
I have something here from Evergreen Properties Group. It's across from Hayes Grocery Store. It's called PT Tubes. They're looking to expand approximately 40 feet building. 40,000, square feet on the easterly side of their current building. And they will be here in September with their plans. And they'll address what they'd like to do and everything. Possibility of, they said 50 jobs. But the property they have would be no problem with this 40,000 square feet, because there's nobody around them, and they own a lot more beyond it once they put that up. So we'll hear from PT2 next month.
And the mayor and I went to visit. I'm sorry the others couldn't go to visit. They are going to put an assembly line in. That'll be the next thing after they do this. And like he just said, then all these jobs will open up, and they will, all their other places, like in White Mills and other places, will be consolidated and brought to Waymart. So it will be a real wonderful industry for Waymart.
Okay, I have a couple more things.
I'd like to jump in on that one.
How about signing the
Yeah, we have a guest and citizen slip there, so if anybody hasn't signed it, do so.
Sure. What are they requesting? Are they requesting anything, any change of use, conditional use, anything like that?
Do you want to see the letter?
Yes, please.
Oh, that's from March.
That's from March.
There was action, the borough did take action, maybe in March or April, to give them the preliminary okay, I forget the exact wording, the preliminary okay to start looking at it, and that was before we had hired Joe, and I believe.
All that they're going to do is they'll submit an application for a zoning application, and I'll either approve it or deny it, depends on what they're going to do, and you go from there.
Yeah, they have 26 acres.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
That's it's procedure.
Okay, I'm still up.
Sorry.
It's okay. We had our police car taken care of with brakes, rotors, and I have the bill here. Now I'm asking council to give approval to put 4 new tires on the car for $814.
Which car was it?
Car 2. Our vehicle didn't pass inspection because of the tires, and I tried to work around that, but I was denied what I wanted to do. But anyway, we need tires on the car, or it goes out of service August 31st. So I'm asking council to approve to buy the tires, $814.19.
I make a motion to buy new tires for the police car.
Thank you, ladies.
A motion has been made and seconded to purchase new tires for the police car number 2. You've heard the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried. Thank you, Mayor.
That's all.
Solicitor's report?
Zoning officer.
Zoning officer, pardon me.
Why did I skip
You every month.
That has
I'm okay with that.
Go ahead.
I had 23 calls from one. 2 notice of violations were sent out, and I'm still working on 3 investigations that I'm working on right now, currently, 3 issues that I'm trying to negotiate. And 4 permits, 3 permits, over $1,000 in permits fees I brought in. And that's it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, and somebody submitted paperwork for the planning commission to go over for a minor subdivision up off of the turnpike.
The Allen Array piece of land.
Yeah, he gave it to his
Dr.
daughter
Allen
or
Array's
something.
land.
That's it.
Any questions for the zoning officer?
And I spoke to, I don't know if any of the zoning guys were here, yeah. We're gonna get, I spoke to Shane, when he gets back from vacation, we're gonna get you emails. And then the same thing with the zoning board, we're gonna get emails from them as well, this way, because they just get the training. You know, because there's a bunch of training out there, you don't know about it until, it's an email, you know what I mean? The borough gets them all the time, but, so we're gonna get them to you
Yeah,
guys.
if I don't have any place to send them to.
Exactly, so we have to get emails.
You have to be in contact too with the Wayne County Department of Planning, because they have to receive a letter from us stating what is proposed, and then they rule on whether they are giving suggestions to meet the code for the county. So a letter always has to go for anybody who has a request on their land.
I thought they met first, they looked at it and they sent it to the county gives their opinion, they
Yeah.
send it back and you guys
Right.
sign it.
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
Sure, you gotta review the pre-tubes.
I never knew anything about it, this is the first I heard about it.
Okay. Did they send us any plans or anything?
They're gonna come.
Just a meeting?
That's all we've received.
P-Tubes is owned by,
Yeah.
excuse me, P-Tube is owned by an Italian company. And so they have, if you look online and do a Google search, you'll be very surprised upon how much they have here in the United States of America. We were very impressed when we were there. It was a very impressive meeting.
Does anybody have a contact for this guy, I can reach out to him and meet with him?
I can make a copy of that letter.
Yeah, if you could, yeah.
As zoning officer, it's more important that you know what's going on than anybody else here.
Well, no, this is the first I heard about it, so yeah.
Joe, you also spoke from the minutes from last meeting, the International Property Maintenance Code.
Yes.
Could you just go over that for there was a couple that
The
weren't
International
here.
Property Maintenance Code is a basic standard of maintenance code for your property that is universal, it's worldwide. And it's just like, how many inches of your grass? How many vehicles, your abandoned vehicles, and there's safety hazards, it's just the basic minimum requirements. But it allows me to issue to fire off citations and, a lot easier, and it's, I work out of the book in every other borough I work in. So I recommend that you guys pass it and adopt it as an ordinance.
Because we talked about that last meeting, correct?
Yeah,
Were we going to vote on that this meeting?
I was under the impression you were.
First,
Okay, I thought so too.
you have to write the ordinance,
No, the ordinance is in the book.
It's
You gotta fill it
international,
out.
it's already
Okay.
written.
Yeah,
but you have to fill in all the spaces.
yeah, it's like 2 spaces.
Yeah.
Is that on the agenda for tonight?
I thought it was supposed to be, I don't see it on it though.
It's not on the agenda.
No, you can't do anything.
Okay, can we make sure that it's on next month?
Absolutely.
Thank you for your report, by the way. All right, correspondence, Heather? None?
No, a solicitor's report.
Just everything's in line with the title. I spoke with Woodland Design, and we're all set with title, we're okay with that to move forward.
Good, wonderful. Any other questions for our solicitor? Okay, now we'll move on to the correspondence.
Okay, I have the Waymart Area Authority regular meeting minutes, if anybody would like to review them. I have a reminder of a meeting from Pete Hooker, Wayne County Office of Emergency Management. The meeting will take place on August 21st. Dinner will be set up and ready around 6 p.m. and the meeting will start at 6:30. Please have your hazard planning paperwork that night if you're coming to the meeting, or email it to me, please. I'm not sure what that
Well, it
pertains to.
refers to the flood,
Okay.
and if that's going to be brought up tonight, if this paperwork that you want us to fill out, that has to be done tonight,
Okay.
okay? I called Pete Hooker to get his
I have the ambulance calls for the month of July. 37 total calls were in the Waymart Borough, with 3 going to, what does MA stand for?
Mutual
Aid. Sorry, mutual aid. And we received an email from a borough resident, and I believe they are here tonight to talk about that, so I will let her talk about that when she's up. And I think that's it.
Thank you,
That is
Heather.
it.
Now the committee reports.
No,
Yes, this is.
guest assistance.
Oh, the guest, right in here, I was given the, I'm sorry, I'm not exactly how to pronounce your names. Kinza,
Kinga?
Kinga, and, well, welcome to our meeting, and how,
Thank you very much.
and how will we try to help you?
We had a water problem when it was raining those 3 days last week, and we had it before actually. And
I think we've all had it, you know.
yeah, I just wanted to just have some information as to is there anything we can do about it. We noticed that the drainage at the corner of Carbondale and South Street, it's a little bit, it sits higher than the pavement, so it's not going in it. It just goes around it and gathers, and by the garage of the neighbors, and just goes, all of it goes into our basement.
Do you want me to read your email?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
but
I probably should have read. After heavy rain, such as last week, all the water that gathers on the street only partially flows into the drainage on the corner of Carbondale and South Street, and their address is 102 South Street. Drainage lever is higher than the lever of the pavement. The water that cannot flow into the drain continues down the road and turns into South Street, from which point it all flows into our yard and then into our basement and backyard. We would very much like ask for advice as to what to do about the situation, as it is damaging the foundation in our basement, and have concern about mold accumulation over time.
We just had that base replaced.
I know, last year, right?
Yeah.
Not Leroy, what do you? what's
That's a
your-
through pipe right there.
What?
Carbondale Road and South Street's a through pipe.
There is one basin right on the corner.
There's a basin on the corner, but it really doesn't do much because everything's coming down the ditch line.
Yeah, well, sure, we probably
And
can't
then
handle that amount of
And,
rain.
and that's a state road too,
That's
but,
been the
yeah.
ditch, so they got it so full of stone. Then they fill them full of stone because of lawsuits.
And the water's going right over the top of it.
Well,
Talk to their
anybody
engineers
notified?
and their lawyers because they keep getting sued for ditches being too deep. So, unfortunately, but that pipe can only take so much
Would you
water.
contact or have someone contact PennDOT about it and see if they could lower that, drain?
Isn't
The-
that ditch like 3 feet?
That's ditch line all through there though.
Yeah,
Fairly
it is deep there, yes.
Isn't a ditch like
That's a pretty
40 feet long and like 3 feet deep?
That's a pretty
And the
hefty
water,
ditch.
it'll be full, and the water is still coming up out of it.
Pipe can only take so much. When you hit 100-year rain, I mean, the drainage systems were not designed to take the rains we're getting. And it's not just here, it's everywhere.
Ms. Rice, does this happen more than what just happened?
Almost every time it rains. I have a picture, it doesn't really show much. Would you like, do you want us to?
Pass it to
Take
this
one.
Here.
I mean, would we be allowed to dig a ditch next to our house? Or can we do anything? Do we have to ask for permission?
Do you have a sub pump in your cellar?
Do we
In the
do a
basement,
sub pump?
yes.
Yeah.
You could absolutely put French drains on your house.
Can we?
Yeah.
Okay, because that was our first idea.
Where is it entering your property? Is it coming in from the road, or is it coming in down the ditch, or down the sidewalk, or?
On the side.
The sidewalk, yeah.
Okay, so it's basically overflowing the pipe. That's, I believe, a 24-inch pipe. I think that's a 24 there.
Is it the pipe that crosses South Street?
Yes,
Goes parallel to Carbondale Road? That's
correct.
Pretty big pipe.
My son pump rain all
It
the
backs up
time.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta figure how much water's coming down that line.
And then what happens? It turns down South Street and comes over your driveway? Is that
Yeah.
what happens?
It
Yeah.
starts going down the sidewalk.
And where does it jump over though? Off
It
of the road?
blows right at the pipe entrance, it blows right up onto the sidewalk, it follows the sidewalk down, so it overflows the pipe.
Well, how does it go to the creek then? Does it go across the road then?
Goes across Carbondale Road, goes down and hits the, next basin that usually plugs up right by the old ice cream place, and then it dumps into the creek.
Okay.
Oh, when that plugs up, it runs right down past St. Mary's Church, runs right down the road.
And see, that's PennDOT road, it is not the borough road, which makes it a little more difficult. All we can do is notify them and hope that they do something. Anybody else want to make a comment about this situation? I'm sorry that happened.
I do.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name's Joseph Aspoli. I live in, on Jabinsky Road in Waymart.
So you don't live in Waymart?
No, I live in Waymart,
Oh,
on Jabinsky Road, 311.
That's not part of it.
okay. That's not,
Township.
that's South Canyon Township, that's not.
Yeah, your address could be Waymart, but
Yeah.
you're not in the borough.
You're not here at all. Sorry.
What's wrong?
Yeah,
I got nothing wrong. I was trying to help.
They had the South Canyon meeting the other night, I went to it, with PennDOT, and,
So, has any members of the committee there or here, got any SBA loans for what happened?
no, they can't, they don't qualify unless a.
I do.
You
I have
qualify?
10 loans active as we speak, and I'm trying to get them all for Waymart, but I guess I'm not a part of Waymart, so.
No, you're not Waymart.
But I feel like I'm Waymart, so
You can still give us money.
I'm going to. I plan on it. I tried to give you guys a backhoe and a truck and a few other things a couple days ago, but nobody wanted it, so.
It is confusing, the mailing addresses. You can have a mailing address of Waymart, but not be within the borough limits, so it's.
I still consider Waymart my home, and I plan on supporting Waymart in this time of need, and I will be bringing a lot to the table, so.
Okay. Waymart only has 5 miles of road, and the rest is all PennDOT. And then it becomes Clinton Township, Canaan Township, and South Canaan Township, and we're all very.
I agree. I've been up here for 8 years in Orange County, California, so I love it up here. I won't ever leave.
Well, good, I'm glad to hear
Glad
that.
that.
You wrote down you wish to speak next. Did you say what you wanted to say?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I need a list of whose ever houses are damaged or businesses damaged, and I'd like to try and get them fixed for them.
Can you help this lady with?
Of course.
Okay.
I got your information.
You have a card I can have?
No, but I got your information from
Okay, great.
here.
Okay, thank you everybody for addressing this, thank you very much.
Firemen and fire ladies, weren't you going to bring up about the pumps?
Yeah, we burn up I think there was 3 pumps that we burn up, four pumps that we burn up during this storm. And pumps, and then we had 2 hose lines blow on the thing too through it, so.
You have the paperwork to fill out? I called Pete Hooker to see what was going on, because I heard it through the grapevine.
Didn't I have one of these?
Well, I was gonna have the mayor make a declaration, which is required before we can apply for anything.
I already have it.
And he just emailed it to us right here, but I'm not sure that that says proclamation. This says declaration of disaster.
So is this August 9th, the minute it was released, I got it.
I know, but we have to get it from our Wayne County office. So do you want the mayor to declare that we had an emergency, that you can fill that paperwork out, and you can come to the council, we'll help you if there's anything that we need to have signed, or our solicitor?
Well, Joe can't, he doesn't live in Wayne.
No, I'm leaving.
Fire
it out.
company.
No, the fire company.
Yeah, that would be a help on the thing. We got, when the governor first declared it, that's what we were planning on going through of the state. That would be a help to get us.
This came right directly from the emergency management office. So do you wanna do it now, or?
Go now.
Sure.
You wanna
Does
declare?
he just need to read this, or?
Our constable will approve this, and we'll fill it out.
If you wanna read it to the council, and then you can decide if you wanna have the declaration of disaster, or Heather, would you read it to the council?
Yes, so the date was August
What was the date?
Ninth.
August
9th.
9th. Thank you.
Waymart.
Do we know what date is available?
Yeah, they said that they don't know, because Preston was just in there at the office when I called them, and Preston just declared their declaration. So they're trying to get enough declarations so that they can appeal to the state to get funding. It's an unsure thing.
Is it for homeowners or for government entities? Is it for roads and bridges, or is it for homeowners and flooded basements?
It's for anybody.
Well, currently, only the businesses have access to it. Homeowners are shut down. I've already tried 100 times.
Well, that isn't what he said to me, but that I'm not getting to hear.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, my business partner is from Waymart, lives in Waymart, Carrie Barnett. She will be my complete business partner on this deal, so all the money that we have coming for the city will be going to the city and taking care of these people, so.
And what is your name again?
Joseph Vassapoli.
Can you spell that for me, please?
V as in Victor, Asapolii.
Thank you. Declaration of disaster emergency. Whereas on or about August 9, 2024, a disaster has caused or threatened to cause injury, damage, and suffering to the persons and property of Waymart Borough. And whereas the disaster has endangered the health, safety, and welfare of a substantial number of persons residing in Waymart Borough and threatens to create problems greater in scope than problems Waymart Borough may be able to resolve. And whereas emergency management measures are required to reduce the severity of this disaster and to protect the health, safety, and welfare of affected residents in Waymart Borough. Now, therefore, we, the undersigned mayor of Waymart Borough, pursuant to the provisions of Section 7501 of the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Service Code, 35 PA-CS Section 7501, as amended, do hereby declare the existence of a disaster emergency in Waymart Borough. Further, we direct the Waymart Borough Emergency Management Coordinator to coordinate the activities of the emergency response, to take all appropriate action needed to alleviate the effects of this disaster, to aid in the restoration of essential public services, and to take any other emergency response action deemed necessary to respond to this emergency. Still further, I authorize officials of Waymart Borough to act as necessary to meet the current geneses, like agencies, of this emergency, namely by the employment of temporary workers, by the rental of equipment, by the purchase of supplies and materials, and by entering into such contracts and agreements for the performance of public work as may be required to meet the emergency, all without regard to those time-consuming procedures and formalities normally prescribed by law, mandatory constitutional requirements accepted. And when signed, this declaration shall take effect immediately.
Just, you understand what it's saying? And the thing is, they want everybody, the townships and the boroughs, to do this, and hopefully then you declare Wayne County a disaster area, and then you will be able to apply for this money. It's not a guarantee, but most of all, we want the fire company to have a chance to apply to pay for those different things that they used up during the flood.
Does this need to be a motion, James?
Yes.
Don't much.
I need to have a motion to accept this declaration of disaster.
Make the motion.
Okay, seconded?
I'll second it.
Motion made and second for the declaration of disaster. You have heard the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. And I have to sign it as the person for the emergency management, because Michelle is no longer on council, so therefore she cannot sign it. So I will do that before the end of the meeting. Okay, now, the committee reports.
Are there any other guests or citizens on that list?
No.
Okay.
The first thing is, I need Heather to read the next thing. Now, this is called the authorized official resolution for the DCNR grant. As I stated to you in the last two meetings, they changed the formula of the DCNR grant. We had in our American Rescue, if you remember, those who've read it, we had 50,000. To our good, they have changed the formula. So we're going to save about $8,000 and $8,000 to $9,000 under this, that we don't have to, we'll have that $8,000 or $9,000 to spend for something else. So this official resolution changes what we had asked for before. And I would ask Heather if she would please read this too.
Be it resolved that the Waymart Borough of Wayne County hereby requests on Greenways, Trails, and Recreation Program grant of $234,500 from the Commonwealth Financing Authority to be used for Wayside Park Phase 2 development project. Be it further resolved that the applicant does hereby designate Shane Bailey, Council President, and Jane Vargo, Borough Council Member, as the officials to execute all documents and agreements between the Waymart Borough and the Commonwealth Financing Authority to facilitate and assist in obtaining the requested grant. I, Heather Hess, duly qualified Secretary of the Waymart Borough, Wayne County, PA, hereby certify that the foregoing is a true and correct copy of a resolution duly adopted by a majority vote of the Waymart Borough Council at a regular meeting held August 13, 2024. And said resolution has been recorded in the minutes of Waymart Borough Council and remains in effect as of this date. In witness thereof, I affix my hand and attach the seal of the Waymart Borough this 13th day of August 24th. 13th day of August 2024. And it would be resolution 2024-3.
So this, about a year ago, we made another resolution. This supersedes the other resolution that we made before for $250,000. So now we only, it's 200. It's about $7,000 or $8,000 less than that. So it's to our good, thank goodness. So can I have a motion to accept resolution number
2024-3?
motion to accept resolution 2024-3.
I'll second it.
A motion has been made and seconded to accept resolution number 2024, number 3. You have heard the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. And Jason Wood, who is our advisor, said that he can immediately know this month whether we're going to get the $234,000. And this month and next month, a lot of, even those other ones that I applied for, the doors, remember I applied for, and I also applied for the jump kits for the ambulance corps. They are going to be announced in the next 6 to 8 weeks, whether we got the grants or not. So, thank you for passing that resolution. And remember, this is a matching grant, so we don't have to put 1 cent in. We're using our $90,000, $180,000 as a matching grant to this $234,000. So it's to our advantage to use one grant to supplement another grant. All right, the next thing is American Rescue money. As I just stated, we're going to have $7,000 or $8,000 left over. So the next thing I considered was the material shed. Perhaps we could add that, but we'll have to discuss it. Perhaps we could add that to the $63,065 that I got for the material shed. And that way it would be enough money to send it on bid. Someone here in this room sent me 5 pictures from down at the ambulance building about all the water there. Anybody admit to it? But anyway, they had a good point. It's very wet there. It's a low spot there by the ambulance building. And they suggested that we look for another place. Since we have a year, remember I got the extension, so we have a year, I would like to approach a couple different people on South Street. Because in South Street there's 2 big long areas of land, one owned by Wayne Memorial, one was owned by Salvation Army that we went on last month. And I would, unless anybody objects to it, I would like to, with the mayor's help, approach them and say, would they give us a half acre to put this shed on? And that way it would be away from the ambulance building, and if the court or if the field ever expands, they would have that extra area to just.
Aren't we going to be putting one concrete pad that's going to go on the bottom of it forever?
All right, I have a question.
And not only that, it's
how far do you expect
far
to
away.
be away from the garage?
Well, I don't. You remember we talked about it before, and you said down by vendors, but that's too far away.
I didn't say down by vendors. Well, if you're talking up on the hill, how far do you expect me to walk between truck and loader to get back and forth? You can't. You gotta have your equipment and your material close by, close to each other. You can't have them miles apart.
And if they hadn't denied us, it would have been just the perfect spot.
Would have been right behind the building. Yeah, I know.
Yes, that's where it belongs.
But I'm saying, even at the ambulance building, I mean, that's close enough that it's not too far. But you can't go.
Don't you think about the water problem? Is that it's going to have to be.
Well, we fix the drainage down there then.
Put it in.
Well, part of the fact that the D&H drainage was blocked up, that didn't help matters down there.
Well, there's also a whole lot of drainage that was incorporated in that ball field that was supposed to be happening.
Well, it's going to happen.
To fix that
It's
situation.
going to happen. So you don't want me to look for another
Well,
piece of land,
I don't
okay?
expect, unless we're putting up an entire building to house all the equipment, the truck, loader and everything with the material. I'm not trying to.
Fine, that's fine.
Dan, I'm just saying, you gotta have them close.
This is a suggestion.
Because if we need the loader at the
All right, I
garage,
drop it.
unless there's somewhere to store the
I drop
loader.
it.
Unless there's somewhere to store the loader.
How much available land is there in Waymart for purchase, any?
I wasn't going to purchase, I was going to ask them to give it to the town.
I'm just curious,
But there's lots of land all over the place.
My suggestion was, Jane, if you're going to go that route, to think about building a building large enough to house the material
I
and
just
the
said
equipment.
to you, I'm not going that way. I have $63,000 now, that's it.
So add to it.
That's
Well,
so,
that
that's
gets us
so
out of
easy.
the other building, that's what I'm getting at.
63,000 could build a nice little building, enough room to store.
All right, the subject is closed, you know, I don't care, we can put it by the ambulance going, I was just trying to look for an alternative. All right, the next thing is, the field has been out on, Penn bid, and, the governor bids, and it's been in a number of publications, and the bids will be received by Friday, September the 6th. As I said before, the other grants, we're waiting on the next month, and by the end of September, we shall know whether we got the rest of the other grants. Now we'll move on to budget and finance. Teresa?
Okay. Everybody got the profit and loss report. I gave everybody a copy of that, and the Waymart Borough fee schedule. You should also have a copy of that. Okay, the first thing I highlighted on mine is real estate taxes. We have a difference between last year at this time, January 1st to last year on this date, and today is a difference of $5,605.09. Delinquent taxes, last year we had $5,684.75. This year we've only brought in $2,813.48 for a difference of $2,871.27. I noticed on line 362.401, conditional use fee, $1,000 was received between January 1st and August 13th, which would have been for our conditional use hearing that we had. Which brought a red flag to me, and I spoke with our zoning officer about this. According to the Waymart Borough fee schedule that was resolved on July 11th, 2023, Allerand, is that the correct name? They owe us a balance of $4,000 due to the fact that our application for conditional use is $5,000, not $1,000. And also, according to the fee schedule, they are to reimburse us for advertising costs. I couldn't find the cost on that. I'm not sure where that is on the treasurer's report. And the stenographic costs, they also should be reimbursing us for, and it would be a total of $6,173.24. I did speak with Shane earlier to see what he had said about this, and he told me to have Heather send them an invoice with the correct total of what they owe us. I'm not sure where they just got $1,000 from, but and to send them a copy of our fee schedule with the date and application fee highlighted.
So I would probably have to get with Shelley and go through.
To find out what the advertising was that we paid for the hearing.
And the advertising fees. Would that go to Waldron?
I suggest you run it by Attorney Henry first.
Okay.
Exactly, I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
Any comment on the fact that we received papers to go to Commonwealth Court?
I haven't received any. Why do you know something?
Were you included in
Well,
that
all of us
email?
on council were sent.
Yeah, weren't you included in that email?
I might have been, but I
Okay,
haven't seen it.
yeah. Middle of last week, or end of last week, we received.
Yeah,
I think it was the end of
I
last
think it
week.
was Wednesday or Thursday.
I don't know of any interveners that received it, even though they claim they were supposed to.
If you didn't, Chris, I will forward it on to you.
Thursday.
Heather, do you have my, chrisfarrell73@gmail.com?
I'll check that that's what it goes to. Yeah,
Anything
maybe
else?
not to your office one.
Anything else, Teresa?
Yes, one other thing was, I'd like to see if we could, on our website, maybe on the title page, the first page that everybody opens up on the web page, encourage the use of using the borough's email or regular mail to communicate borough business. Such as when someone wants to be placed on the agenda, like Jamie Rutherford, send the borough an email or through mail so that it comes directly to the borough instead of a borough council member, or go to our zoning officer if that's where it needs to be, or the planning
Phone
commission.
call to the secretary would be adequate?
Yes.
Because Jamie's called me a couple of times.
And what is the formal way that you should be notified of a meeting?
What do you mean the formal way of a meeting? A meeting is placed on the borough
I
website
didn't
as
know
well.
nothing about the meeting, and neither did the mayor, and neither did Randy, about this other meeting. What is the formal way that we're
It
supposed
was
to get?
communicated through text messages, there was a vote on a text
But
message.
not everybody does text
But
messages.
what I'm talking about is businesses that want to place something within the borough, something that pertains to zoning,
You
something
need
that
to
pertains to planning.
advertise that, that's the way to do it. I don't certainly disagree with that at all, but, we can make it as complicated as we want to. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Thank you very much. And, Jane?
Well, I think everybody should tell the secretary how they want to be notified, whether it be by text, by email, or what have you.
There's a concern, and sorry, I don't mean to call you out, but
It's okay.
Chip doesn't receive email, so I can't send everything to Mr. Norella through a text because it doesn't always work that way. And that
I don't know
that-
if you my text
right,
either, I don't care.
that's what it was, but it's hard sometimes texting, correspondence through email doesn't always go out to everybody, so. But I would agree.
You should know
It would be
how
helpful.
each individual
Will
wants
you?
to be notified, and we should probably make that part of the minutes and stuff.
Would you recommend a method?
Well, if somebody doesn't have email and wouldn't recognize involving email, if somebody doesn't text, they don't recognize that it should all be by text, it should be in a manner that everybody's gonna get it. So maybe you'll, first class snail mail is the only way to do it, to ensure that everybody gets it, because we know everybody has an address. Unless everybody wants to put down their personal preference, and if it's not too much of a burden for Heather, we'll do it that way.
Yes, I totally agree, and I've tried to do better with Mr. Norella, but not everything corresponds to a text that would have to go in an email, so I don't know how to do that.
Send it regular mail.
Okay, print it out and send it regular mail.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shane isn't here, so we go on to Park and Recreation. Shane, have you had a chance to?
Yeah, so I have talked with the Little League president and the soccer president, just kind of introduce myself. I'm still going to try to reach out to Kyle Barna for this men's softball. And I did give, and I talked with Shane about this and Heather about this, I did give soccer permission to use the concession stand till the end of their season, because from what I'm understanding, that project is not going to start till late fall. I left that up to them, whether they use it or not, because they have the understanding that they were not allowed to use it at all this season. A line of communication issue, I'm not sure, but that's why we're starting fresh. So I did give soccer permission to use it till the end of the season. I did talk with them last night at my daughter's soccer practice, and they're not sure if they're using it yet or not, but they do have that option. So
And when does the season And
He told me their last soccer practice or soccer game will be the weekend before, no, October 27th will be the last, but that's gonna be over at Evergreen, because they moved all of the younger, which was always on the Borough field, they moved them to Evergreen.
but how about Little League, and
They're done, Little League,
Okay.
Little League, was done, I think, July 1st. So, but yeah, I just need to.
well, I just wanna know, because when we go out on bid, we just wanna know when.
Yeah, they're not, soccer's not using the field, but I did give them permission to use the concession stand, because I know they count on that, to bring in some profit for the youth group, so.
Thank you very much. You're deciding right, and putting your legs right on, and putting your feet right on the ground to go forward, thank you. Utilities, Don, anything to report?
I have nothing.
Darren isn't here. Purchasing and building, Randy, anything we need to buy? That's good. That's good. Unfinished business or old business. I did go to the DCED Municipal Assistance Program, and it was on a webinar on the computer. It was very excellent, laying out the kind of grants that we can seek next year. They always have favorite ones that they often fund, and so it was a very good thing, and it was by the DCED municipal people, and they had it was a very good workshop, so I did enjoy that one very much. And then last week, I was so sorry that nobody else on council went to it. What a fabulous thing that was over at the Gentex. I really enjoyed that very much. And it was the F-35 industry team, and they invited us all to fly in the cockpit of the F-35, and it was really fun to demonstrate her. It was really fun to know how it works. They work with Lockheed Martin in conjunction of building the F-35, which is the fastest plane now, right now in the arsenal of the United States service. So that it was a very nice meeting, and they hope to have more in the future, and I hope that some of you can go to it. So if anybody's interested in it, I have the tells about, and of course their the big thing they do is the helmets and the goggles, and that and the communication. So very interesting meeting.
They actually put you in a lottery, because I signed up for both through the borough and through work. And unfortunately, I wasn't picked.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
Gosh, I just called up and they put my name on the list. That's strange. And then I am signed up for the mayor, I guess it's Heather Senate. The mayor asked people to go to the pipeline safety program. I went to it last year. It's at the Hilton Scranton and that was a wonderful course I went to, plus it was a wonderful lunch. But anyway, so all members of your organization are invited to this program. You will receive up-to-date safety protocols, damage prevention information, and current contacts for pipelines. And we still have the Arapahoe in the ground. Of course, the IGA is the big pipeline we have to worry about in Waymart. So, and if you haven't signed up for it yet, it's the 19th of September. So I did that. I was very, very happy about that. And I have something to announce that I'm very proud of. I received a phone call today, and I have been nominated by Jim Hamill for the Roots Alliance Heritage Award. All of you perhaps don't know it, but we all belong to the Route 6 Alliance. And we all joined it quite a few years ago, where every municipality, whether it's a borough or a township that is on Route 6, and Route 6 extends from Milford all the way across the state to the Ohio border. And there are hundreds of groups that belong to this. So I am very, very proud. And so I'm going to be honored at the meeting, and I hope that some of you will go to it. It's in October, and
And Jane, the name of the award again is Heritage.
The Route 6 Alliance Heritage Award.
Thank you. And October what?
I guess I didn't write the date down.
Okay.
It's the second weekend. What do we call that long weekend?
Columbus Day weekend?
Yeah, that weekend. So I'm proud of that, so thank you. And is there any other unfinished business? Like, for instance, the planning commission. One thing I would like to suggest the planning commission, it's been on the radio, it's been in the paper, thanks to Peter, and it's been in different things. In 2 years, it's the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. And they're asking every municipality to have something, at least something. And what I was looking at the other night, I was so surprised, and now I realize it. Right up here in the wall, I have the certificate. In 2026, Waymart will be 175 years old. So we really, the planning commission, if they really want to do something really good, come up with a number of things that we could do for this anniversary. And it also happens to be the 150th anniversary of our next door neighbors in the Masonic Order. So, I think that's something that we need to really work on for the borough.
Pardon me, Jane, is that park and recreation? Like, you want something like for the town?
Yes,
Or is it?
for the town.
Okay, so that's more.
So we can all take part,
But is that more need in planning commission? Or is it, I'm trying to understand the.
Well, it's planning on what to do. Then the planning people could ask different groups like you. Will you take this?
I don't think that's what the planning commission is all about. What am I gonna do, plan a Halloween party too next, or what?
I think Jane misspoke. It's not planning commission, right? You want something to be planned.
You want something to be planned for the 175.
Plan is a plan is a plan, yeah.
Right? Maybe a parade, like how Waymart celebrated.
I will go to the courthouse and bring you the literature that tells you what a planning commission does. Anything else? New business?
I only have old business yet. The planning commission. I make a motion to relieve Jane Barco of the Bargaining and Planning Commission so she can concentrate more on grants.
The thing is, I announced 3 or 4 times in the last few months that the planning commission doesn't exist and hasn't existed in years. How could I resign from something that doesn't exist?
Okay.
I just have to weigh in on that. When we had the meeting at the fire hall and I asked you, why are they dropping this off at your house? You said, because I'm the head of the planning commission. So I guess if you could just adjust the motion to if she is on the planning commission. Okay? So either or.
I don't know what this, why nobody's ever consulted me, nobody asked my opinion, nobody's had enough courtesy to say, we want to get rid of you. Well, if you want to get rid of it, the president could just declare what the committees are. That's very close in the borough code. All you have to do is read it. That is, if you read the borough code. It says in there that it's a prerogative of the president to name the committees. It's just like the committees for, we used to have a very active one, committees for the roads. We don't have any of these commissions anymore. They don't exist.
I'll second it.
I'll say,
No, you're not on council.
Sarah, you're not even allowed to speak at this meeting, you realize that?
I'm about to bring millions to the city, so I don't know why you wouldn't want me to speak at this meeting.
Because it says, as our solicitor can tell you, that no one, the people that are recognized at the meeting are the residents of the town.
So there's a motion on the table. First by Don.
Repeat the motion, please.
Motion to relieve Jane Barco of her duties of planning commission to focus on grants.
And I second it.
You've heard the question. All those in favor say aye.
Do you want to do a roll call vote?
Okay, do a roll call. Fine, all right.
Shana Delaney.
Yes.
Don Miller. Teresa Stratton.
Yes.
Randy Thorpe.
No.
Jane Barco.
No.
Motion passes.
Any other new business? I appreciate how much you think of me.
If anybody needs my services, it's free of charge. I'm a computer genius. I can pretty much do 10 things at once. So grants, anything you name, I can find it. I can get it for anybody.
Thank you.
All right, anything else? Don't want anybody to speak? Anyone else wants to speak?
Were we going to do the other alternate?
Yes. Yeah, I make a motion to appoint Dean Stratton as alternate to the planning commission.
I'm going to abstain.
I second it.
You've heard the question. Repeat the question, please.
A motion to appoint Dean Stratton as an alternate to the planning commission.
You've heard the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No? No?
Aye.
And Jane, no?
No.
Motion passed.
If we can go back to the governor's emergency proclamation, I just read his whole proclamation. Very, very vague. Okay, funds shall be used for expenses authorized and incurred related to this emergency. Supplementation of county and municipal efforts and resources. All Commonwealth agencies, supplies and services in response to this emergency are authorized to utilize in the emergency. That's as detailed as it gets, and I'm not sure what it says. So I don't know if it's for private landowners or if it's just for government entities. It appears to be just for government entities. Usually they come out later with low interest loans for residents if they have problems that they have trouble financing. That's not mentioned at all in the governor's proclamation.
Do you have the paperwork that somebody gave you?
Me?
No, I'm not talking to you. You.
Me?
Yeah.
We don't have anything.
Who has the paperwork?
I would imagine probably Chief Rainierson.
Okay.
Well, I suggest you put it in.
Yes, sir.
Anything that's not spent, if you get money, does have to go back. So
Yes, sir.
if you don't put the paperwork in, we can't get it. So just to be safe. put it
Yes,
in.
sir.
That's what I would.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good, try to do it as soon as possible, please.
Do
Any
we-
other,
Does the borough have damages? Do we have any trouble?
did you
Anything
go,
that needs to be fixed?
did you go down cellar here? I didn't either.
We had 2 small roads we repaired, that was it.
Okay. Do we know if there's private citizens to this problem?
Nothing brought to my
Matt.
attention.
Matt Feldman.
Yeah, his house got pretty
I don't
destroyed.
know if Dave Barco, I don't know if he abstained any, I don't know who the gentleman across the street from Matt is, but I know Matt is looking to see if his, like, his furnace and things.
Yeah, that was a pond.
Yeah, I don't know if any.
I haven't met him there. I'm taking helping him.
All right,
Who's the gentleman across the street from Matt?
from who?
Jack?
It lives in the old bank.
Yeah,
Oh, Jack, Best.
Yes.
Jack Beck, yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure.
I believe the house across the creek from him got pretty hard too. I don't know if it got to the house or not,
We're
but
not
it
sure
definitely
who
got
it
up in the
is.
garage.
I know one down on Belmont Street, right by the hair gym. She was up halfway up her furnace when we went in there.
Wow.
A white house right
I
before
mean, I
the
know my
hair gym.
parents have 3 sub pumps and all 3 were going, so.
Solicitor, do they have to have special insurance for that? Or do you think it's under?
Matt has flood insurance.
There's flood insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's under homeowner?
if you look under the government, everybody in Wayne County is in a flood zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's seepage.
Anything else anybody would like to say tonight at the meeting? I thank you all for coming, and I need a motion then to adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
I'll second it.
Motion is made and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Second opposed, motion carried.